Casey's not going to admit for something that she hasn't done.
George and Cindy, live on Local 6, breaking their silence for the first exclusive interview since the search for Kaylee ended.
I don't think it's possible for my daughter to hurt anyone, and she would definitely hurt her own child.
Good evening, I'm Mike Garofalo.
And I'm Jacqueline London. You saw it here live. George and Cindy Anthony defending their daughter.
But the biggest breaking development comes tomorrow. That's when Cindy Anthony tells the CBS Early Show in an exclusive interview she thought about committing suicide. She even says she wrote several suicide notes, but it was Casey herself who stopped her from going through with it. New details we haven't heard before. Louis Bolden is here with the exclusive interview.
Well, Mike, this is news we're hearing for the first time. George Anthony's suicide attempt was well publicized, but what the public didn't know is Cindy Anthony considered suicide several times.
George and I are living the same nightmare.
In part 2 of Cindy and George Anthony's interview with the Early Show's Maggie Rodriguez, Cindy Anthony confessed something she says she's never told anyone. She, too, contemplated suicide.
But I don't know, and I can't judge George for certain things that he's done. You know, I understand certain things. I understand his suicide attempt. A lot of people don't know. I was there, too. I wrote suicide notes back into July and August. No one knows that.
Cindy says the suicidal thoughts started when Casey was behind bars. She says when Casey bonded out of jail and came home for the first time, Casey kept Cindy from going through with it.
I couldn't bear not having Kaylee around and not knowing what happened to her. And I wanted, I just didn't, you get to a point when you miss someone so much that you think life's not worth living.
In this morning's interview, George Anthony also spoke for the first time about trying to take his life. He says the pressure reached a point he could no longer take.
To be scrutinized, have people come at you in so many different directions, like our protesters at our house and stuff, all that weighs on you after a while.
Coming up at 6 o'clock, another preview of Cindy and George Anthony's interview with the Early Show. Cindy Anthony talks about what she would like to ask her daughter. I'm Louis Bolden, Local 6.
Now, Louis, Cindy and George say they support their daughter. They even say they know Casey didn't kill Kaylee, right?
That's right. They say they believe their daughter 100%, but Cindy also says she has questions she really wants answered. All new at 6, find out what she wants to ask her daughter, Casey, about Kaylee.
All right, thank you, Louis. Meantime, the hearing requested by Casey's attorney to keep a December jailhouse interview private has been postponed. Casey's attorney, Jose Baez, is trying to keep audio and video of a December 11th meeting that happened at the Orange County Jail from being released to the public. This is the meeting when Jose was said to be seen comforting his client. A hearing on the issue was set for May 7th, but has now been postponed until May 28th. And Casey Anthony is expected to be there.